For those of you from the pioneer years of Vocaloid, when it first came out, just might remember Leon and Lola. If you don't, then don't feel bad. Their retirement was in January 1st, 2014, and didn't do too well in the market for the 10 years they were active. Some say it was their accent, others say it was just too early, and still others say it was because these, quote, two Vocaloids weren't two at all, just carbon copies with an elevated or lowered pitch. Get ready to hear some of the beginnings of Vocaloid itself, because we're delving into the question, what made Leon and Lola fail? On this episode of According to Demo. Coming out in January 15th, 2004, in tandem with each other by Zero G as their makers. It wasn't long until people took notice, mainly because even Mako hadn't come out yet. Did you catch that? Let's first start with Lola, because she represents the two more often than not for the reason I'm going to mention. A. Lola is described as a virtual female soul singer modeled on a real professional singer. Leon, the same, just male. B. The voice provider is not known, but only what we do know about it is she is a female, is British, and is black. And also voiced Leon as well. C. Neither of them have an avatar, but the picture of both covers is just reversed and darkened on Leon's side, assuming that Lola is the original picture. D. Basically, they are direct complementary copies, kind of like the Kagamines, but not exactly because they have a different style. This is where it gets tricky because they were literally the very first music synthetic vocals ever. Yeah, a Vocaloid, I'm assuming. There could have been more, but probably not as famous as they are today. English vocals came out before Japanese did. Japanese just took better care and ran with it. Praise Japan! So I'll delve into the technological advances and needs during the period of time they were released, as well as looking at the Vocaloid's engine release. Because only the most hardcore fans know anything before 2004, or mostly softcore fans don't know much before 2007, because that's when Miku was released. So I just thought this rundown of Vocaloid history would be great for the newer Vocaloid fans to get some awesome history on the matter. Leon and Lola were released in January 2004 in the British lands of the UK. Very different now, isn't it? But sure, if you look back, musicians have been using technologically made voices for their music since the 80s, possibly even the 70s. Does anyone remember the voice box Bon Jovi used for his guitar with "Living on a Prayer"? I butchered that, I'm sorry. But that album went platinum in nearly every country. But how about Depeche Mode? New Order? Tears for Fears, anyone? Or how about my favorite, Orchestral Maneuvers of the Dark? That was completely made on computers and not one instrument. There's a whole 3 decades from 1974 to the debut of Vocaloid in 2004. Speaking of 2004, the #1 song in the United States in that year was a heavy into Usher, holding 36 entire weeks of the year. The rest going to big name hip-hop artists like Ludacris and Snoop Dogg. Usher is soul, right? However, Usher also held the #1 album sales globally that year, heavily in Britain and Russia as well, followed by Norah Jones and Eminem. So yes, the people in the year 2004 across the world were mainly into soul and hip-hop music. And I should also mention YouTube and Nico Nico was not a thing either. Videos are the main driving force of Vocaloid. And I can safely say that without YouTube or Nico Nico or even SoundCloud or Pia Pro or any other thing like Bandcamp, a lot less of us would be into Vocaloid. It'd be a very different world as well. It'd also be kind of scary because who don't like Vocaloid? Oh no! So that's the basic of why she failed. Now I should come clean about something important. Leon and Lola didn't exactly fail. Oh yeah, just clickbait all over. No, but it's still important to discuss. Reportedly, Kaito was the only Vocaloid before Vocaloid 2 that failed miserably. There was no report that Leon or Lola had less than 1,000 sales, so maybe they did not fail. But they certainly weren't famous. Some people even hated their guts. But I also have to look into the fact that if a country alone has those 1,000 sales, or if it's the global countries that have the 1,000 sales, if they pass or fail. I'm not sure about that. So I'll have to look that up in a later upcoming video that I'm making, just like an hour-long special about Yamaha and their business practices. So, yeah, expect that one in a long while, maybe 2019. Mako was and is way more famous. Sweet Ann and Big Al were also more famous. So why was Leon and Lola so ignored? Like I said before, the world loved soul music, and she did sell over the quota, so why? The original Vocaloid engine was pretty lackluster, having only 1/5 of the sales Yamaha was expecting for the engine. It was only during the time of Vocaloid 2 where they all got noticed, and people still didn't like her, or him. Basically, both the same thing, you get it. There are a number of reasons nobody liked her, and most of it was because of her accent. She failed in America due to her British accent. But when she sang outside of the soul genre, she gained a Caribbean accent. How does that happen? And I also bet that was weird. So, this was so weird that people were confused if she was either Spanish or Japanese. She's British and English. The weirdest thing I noticed was that she was most criticized for racial representation for the soul genre. Can you actively call a Vocaloid using racial representation in a genre of music? I mean, I understand just racial representation in general, but racial representation in a genre by a synthetic vocal? That to me sounds like a genre would only represent one race, which is by far not what humanity should be pointing towards. But then again, this was in 2004. We have grown and possibly backslid a bit. But anyway, we're trying. So there you have it. The reason Leon and Lola failed was because it was the meat shield, or just the voice shield, for the rest of the upcoming software. Or at least that's how I think about it. Has anyone ever played a strategy game like Pokemon and you have to save up move points or time or items to give to your Pokemon to give it more stronger attack points, or something like Final Fantasy or something, in order to expand the power of your next unit, so you use a weaker one as a shield to get that extra power boost for the next ones? Yeah, I do that a lot. I love strategy games, but fight me. Considering any press for the upstarting company like Vocaloid from Yamaha is good press, everyone knew this was new technology and was ultimately going to take some time to fix. And sure, the software vocals were bad, but so was the Vocaloid engine itself, because it was a completely new thing and Yamaha is literally just winging it as of then. I'm pretty sure they're winging it as of now. I would not doubt that to be the case. And then it would only be until 2007 where YouTube was now a place where people could upload music. Now, if a saying Vocaloid song was uploaded then, I have no idea. I'll have to study that and ask some people what the first Vocaloid video was. Tell me if you know, and I'll feature the comment on a video in another ATD or demo talks. I haven't decided yet. In conclusion, Lola and Leon and Kaito failed mainly due to being the first of an unknown software. Mako actually didn't fail. She got well over 3,000 sales in Japan alone. That's a pass. The masterful knowledge of people buying them and not understanding or liking them to the extent Yamaha was expecting actually helped people look into this new phenomenon known as Vocaloid. And thus, I've done a lot of according to demos on older Vocaloids. I should do more, or lesser known Vocaloids. So what do you think about Leon and Lola? I do already know that there is a cult following within the Vocaloid community now that she has a lot of boost in fame, but that wasn't the case before Vocaloid 2. So I'd love to know what the first Vocaloid song was with a major artist back in the day. Yeah, or if a big artist ever did anything with the software. I'm pretty sure they did, but you know, you can never tell. I want to do that on another Vocaloid 101. So this ends the history of the awesome and weird year of 2004. I was 9, so yeah, I'm old. And that ends Leon and Lola, according to demo. So they didn't fail, I'm sorry. They didn't fail precisely. They just, you know, they could have had more fame if the engine and software worked a bit better. And maybe it'd be different. Maybe they wouldn't have discontinued sales in 2014. I mean, that's 10 years. That was a good run, but Miku and a lot of other Vocaloids have been available for more than 10 years. Well, that's all I've got for now. So if you want more Vocaloid or gaming content, then press that subscribe button. And if you want to see more according to demo, then go ahead and click that like button as well. I think you'll come back. I know you'll come back for some more according to demo. And don't forget, I have winter merch now on sale at teespring.com. Don't forget, and I know you will always prepare to catch it next time.